Broadcasting live from a hollowed out tree stump in the middle of no man's land. You've reached Married with Comedy with Jeff Onyx and Joe Chandler. Strap in, boys and girls, and keep your arms and legs in the vehicle at all times, cause it's gonna get bumpy.
Up. Make sure all this stuff is on. All that's on. All that's on. All that's on. Okay. Switch headphones. Welcome to Married with Comedy. I'm Jeff Onyx. Yeah, I'm Jeff Onyx. Yeah. So, for now on, I'm probably going to be doing solo up in the studio, and we're going to be bringing in co-hosts over the phone and any guests over the phone, and you through the chat right over there. Chitty chat, chat. I got a hood for my microphone because, I don't want it seeing where it's been. So the microphone's going to have to wear that hood for a while. And then, you better straighten up. Come on, you. Don't try to take off that hood, microphone. So that's what's going on today. So, let's see. On the show today, we've got trivia. We've got, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff on today's show. So let's just get into it, all right? We're going to get right into the thing here. And I'm going to go to my show notes. All right. Trivia. Oh, snap. Trivia, snap. So, yeah. Today's trivia question. Here we go. We're going to have Joe Chandler on later. We're going to have James R. Freeman on later. We're going to have you guys in the chat room if you chat. If you're watching this live, chat. It'll come up on the screen eventually. If you're not watching this live and you're watching later on, still chat. All right. So today's trivia question: which two United States don't observe daylight savings time? Which two United States do not observe daylight saving time? That is the question. That is the question of the day. That's trivia. Oh, snap. All right, so we're going to start off with This Week in Comedy History. So you guys will enjoy it. This Week in Comedy History. This Week in Comedy History, we got this guy. That guy. Yeah. Born January 24th, 1951, his birth name was Yokov Nuomovich Pokis. His name now is Yokov Smirnoff. He began his career as a stand-up comedian in the Ukraine. That's where he's from. He immigrated to the United States somewhere around 1977 in order to pursue an American show business career. He didn't know any English at the time when he came over. He was an art teacher in Odessa, Ukraine. So this is prudent to what's going on in the news today. Yeah. Aren't he glad he's not there? Then he emigrated to the United States somewhere around, like I said, 1977. He's a comedian. And when he was a comedian, when he was a teacher in the Ukraine, he was also a comedian. And he entertained occasionally on ships in the Black Sea when the American soldiers or sailors or Marines would be on ships in the Black Sea. He would go and he would do his routine in his native language. I think it's Russian, Ukrainian, whatever language they speak there. That's what he would do. And then Americans there would describe what the United States was like. So when he moved to the United States, you might not know that when he moved to the United States, he was a bartender for a little while, and he noticed that Americans liked a specific type of vodka, and he wanted to choose a name that Americans would be familiar with, so he chose Smirnoff as his name, Yokov Smirnoff, because of Smirnoff vodka. So you also might not know that the character Balky Bartokomous was loosely based on Yokov Smirnoff, even though the people that made that show disagree. They say that's not true, but it absolutely is true. What did I knock over? Oh, I knocked over my water. So, this week in comedy history, Yokov Smirnoff. Yokov Smirnoff. Yeah. So, so we're gonna have Jay on in a little bit. He's gonna hang out with us. We're gonna have Joe on later on in the show. He's gonna hang out with us. That's gonna be neat, and we're gonna have fun with that. So, stuff going on. Hey, by the way, so if you subscribe to the channel, um, if we get 100 subscriptions, if we get 100 people to subscribe to this channel, I'm going to reveal my little Hefe. So if you would like to see me reveal my little Hefe, then encourage your family and friends to subscribe to the channel as well. Share the show, share the channel to people, and tell them, hey, subscribe to this thing. So you can subscribe if you haven't already. Then subscribe and tell people what's up with that. Also, if you want to send us fan mail, you can send fan mail, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri 64465. If you're an angry feminist, you can send us hate mail, M-A-L-E, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri 64465. So, yeah, you send us all kinds of stuff. So you notice that, studio's a little different. I'm hanging out here, doing my thing, doing my little turn on the catwalk, because I'm awesome. Yeah. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that I could like mess with this stuff, but I don't want to mess with stuff while I'm in the middle of doing a show. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I have no idea what any of this stuff is. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't know. Whatever I was about to do just now, I don't want to do it. You'll notice we're not on Facebook Live right now. Yeah, I look cute today. Someone says in the chitty chat there, because I've got my no hat on, and I'm wearing my "Only You Can Prevent Communism" shirt. But what was I saying? I was in the middle of saying something. Man, this is really messed up to be old and to forget what you're saying in the middle of a sentence. Something. I was saying something about the show, and then we're not on Facebook. We're doing YouTube only now. For a little while there, we were doing Facebook only. Then we transitioned to doing YouTube and Facebook, and now we're just doing YouTube only, and we're not doing Facebook right now. So everybody who is looking for us on Facebook, they're not going to be able to find us on Facebook because we're not on Facebook right now. So, you know what? I should go over there and like see what these people are doing. See if they're commenting over here. So, yeah. Let's see. Are people talking? Oh my gosh, there's like 5 comments. What? No, that was episode 2. So, yeah. This one doesn't have comments. Can I be the first to comment on that? Oh no, I clicked the YouTube link. I don't want to click the YouTube link. I just wanted to comment. I'm going to comment on there. Be the first to comment. Poop. Poop. See if oh, hey, Kawina, what's up? Oh, you like my shirt, huh? I think I got this from a lovely lady. I can't remember who I got this from. Maybe I got it from Kawina. Maybe I got it from a lovely lady. I can't remember. I got this from someone. I think it was Christmas. I think I got this for Christmas. Might have been my birthday. I don't know. Man, my memory is just gone, bro. Gone. I'm gonna send a message to my good friend and tell him if he wants to jump on, he can. Boom, boom. Well, I'm gonna send a message. So that's what's going on. I should recap the show. Oh my gosh, I clicked something I shouldn't have. I should recap the show. Here we are, cap up the show. So we're going to talk about Robert Goddard. We're going to talk about the Roswell incident. We're going to talk about canned cheese. Going to talk with Joe about some gossip he heard about some people. There's a segment he wants to do called Generation Why Is This Funny? Why is this funny? We're going to be breaking down, I think, Divergent. Yeah. We're going to talk about canned cheese. We're going to talk about Instacart and Troll Dolls and Percy. Yeah, and then I'll give the answer to the trivia question later on today. We'll tell the confirmation of the information, and then we're going to do it. So yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, so we got all kinds of cool stuff going on, man. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a start screen at the beginning. Those of you who jumped on after the start screen was done, it was like 5 minutes of a start screen so that I could send out messages through the social medias to let them know what's up. And then, to let them know what's going on. I think what's going to happen today is a lot of people are just going to assume that I'm going to start streaming on Facebook. And they're going to wait for me to start streaming on Facebook. And since I'm not streaming on Facebook, then they're going to be like, wow, look at that. You got a big wide screen of you. Man, you look pretty. Yeah, I do look pretty, don't I? I look really pretty. I look really, really pretty. I'm going to squish my face down a little bit like this. And I'm going to squish this up a little bit like that. And then I'm going to pull this out a little bit like this. And then I'm going to go over on this side. I'm going to pull it out like that a little bit. Then I'm going to go up like this. And I'm going to... You guys can enjoy it. Enjoy it while I'm doing it. Because I'm doing it right now. I don't care. I don't care if you're watching me. Boom. See, this is the way it should be. Just me. Nothing else. No chitty chat. None of that other stuff. And then you go back over here like this and you go, what? Where'd the chat go? There it is. What? The chat showed up. Yeah. Boom. So, yeah. So it's going to be a fun show today. Anyway. Yeah, hey, you just in case those people who just joined us missed the trivia question. The trivia question is, which two United States states don't observe daylight saving time? Which two U.S. states do not observe daylight saving time? Which of them do not observe the daylight saving time? So that's the question of the day. So you know what irritates me is waiting for other people. So I'm just gonna jump into my my next segment. I mean, because I'm early. I'm running a little early. I jumped the gun on the whole Yakov Smirnoff thing, because I was like, oh yeah, this week in comedy history, and it's like Yakov Smirnoff here. No, this week in comedy history, and I'm like, yeah, there's Yakov Smirnoff, and oh hey, look at him, that's Yakov Smirnoff, and we were like, yeah, Yakov Smirnoff, and he's got these different, ha. So anyway, what's this up here? Humor combined with mockery of life under communism and of consumerism in the United States. Okay. So he's making fun of different stuff, America, what a country! Yeah. He's got a southern accent now because he's down in Branson. So Yakov Smirnoff, he talks with a southern accent now because he's down there in Branson. He's like, hey, baby, y'all want to come out to my show? He's been active in what do you call that? He's been active in comedy. He's been active in his career since 1983 till now. Like, that's a long time to be and in that stuff. So he has a theater. He has a theater in Branson, and he produces PBS comedy specials. What? I didn't even know that. And he still tours? That's craziness. This guy's like all over the place. Whatever. So that's what's going on with that. Anyway, Yokov Smirnoff. This guy. That's a picture from like 1986. Wonder, is this him from like now? Headshot of comedian Yokov Smirnoff. Uploaded 2016. So this is him from 2016. So what is it now? 2022, 16. 6 years. 6 years. Well, somebody's late. Somebody's late to the party, I'm telling you. Somebody be late to the party. Because I went back to This Week in Comedy History. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna preemptively jump on this. Let's see what we can hear. Oh, you hear that? Oh, can you hear that? Can you hear that? Oh, what? Can you hear that? Oh, it's gonna go to voicemail. Watch. You've reached Jay's voicemail. Like, click. You've reached Jay's voicemail. Do it. You've reached
Jay.
You've reached my voicemail. Ugh, what a jerk. Whatever. I don't like it when people are like that. When I like plan something and they're supposed to be on here. Oh well, jump on to the next thing because this is going to be a while. We're going to take a while. Science Denier of the Week. This week's Science Denier is this special dude. Special in my heart. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this guy, but Robert Goddard. Robert Goddard is our Science Denier of the Week. And I went to Robert Goddard Middle School in Texas. I think it was a middle school. Yeah. Or was it Robert Goddard Elementary? No, it was Robert Goddard Middle School in Texas. Robert Goddard. So we gonna find out some information about Robert Goddard. Yeah. So starting at the age 5, Robert Goddard started experimenting. Okay. He believed he could jump higher if zinc from a battery could be charged by scuffing his feet on gravel. So he would hold the zinc and try to jump. And then his mom told him that he couldn't do that anymore because if he succeeded, he'd go sailing away and might not be able to come back down. So, and then he developed a fascination with flight. First, he would fly kites. Then he would play with balloons and different various hot air balloons and things that he would make, like little model ones. He became a diarist. Okay, so he would keep diaries. He would keep really thorough diaries from the time that he could write. He would write every day in his diary and document every experiment, every thought, everything that he did. So later on, when he became a scientist, like officially, then he had that already had that wired in him to keep really good notes. So when he was 16, okay, he attempted to construct a balloon out of aluminum, right? And he shaped the balloon using like raw aluminum materials in his home workshop. So at 16, this kid had a home workshop for scientific experiments, okay? And then he tried to fill the aluminum balloon with hydrogen. So it took him 5 weeks of trying. He tried it for 5 weeks, and throughout the entire time, he documented every time he would try and fail. And he finally abandoned the project because the balloon wouldn't go up. So he said, "Aluminum is too heavy. Failure crowns enterprise." So, aluminum is too heavy. Failure Crown's Enterprise. So he became interested in space when he read H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds. When he was 16, he read The War of the Worlds. It wasn't like a movie, like we could go watch it with various people, Will Smith or Keanu Reeves or whoever. I don't know who's in it, but the newer one. It was a book. He had to read it. So he started pursuing spaceflight. And then October 19th, specifically, and he wrote it in his diaries, October 19th, 1899. He was 17 years old. He climbed up a cherry tree, okay? And he was cutting off dead limbs on this cherry tree. But he looked up at the sky, and in his own writing, he said he was transfixed by the sky, and his imagination just grew wild. And this is an excerpt I'm about to read from his diary. On this day, I climbed a tall... Startled me. Man, that scared the crap out of me, dude.
What's that?
I wasn't expecting it to ring in my ears. Scared the crap out of me. Now we're going to get copyright striked because my ringtone is TNT by AC/DC. So I already started in the Robert Goddard thing.
You already started with the what?
Robert Goddard.
Oh.
I was about to read from his diary that he wrote in 1899, on October 9th, 1899, when he was 17 years old. I'm about to read what he wrote in his diary. You ready? You know who Robert Goddard is?
I don't remember, no.
Okay, well, everybody else is just barely getting to know the guy because we're only at age 17 now, okay? So when he was 5, he started experimenting trying to fly.
Trying to fly. Gotcha.
And then he became interested in trying to make, inventions, and he had his own workshop when he was 16. Okay, so when he was 17, he said this: "On this day I climbed a tall cherry tree at the back of the barn, and as I looked toward the fields at the east, I imagined how wonderful it would be to make some device which had even the possibility of ascending to Mars, and how it would look on a small scale if set up from the meadow at my feet. I have several photographs of the tree taken since then, with the little ladder I made to climb up it, leaning against the tree. It seems to me that a weight whirling around a horizontal shaft moving more rapidly above than below could furnish lift by virtue of the greater centrifugal force at the top of the path. I was a different boy when I descended from the tree from when I ascended. Existence at last seemed very positive. For the rest of his life, that was out of a diary of a 17-year-old. You believe that crap? This kid used like language that people don't even use now. Craziness.
Yeah.
So for the rest of his life, he observed October 19th as the anniversary day, and he privately commemorated the day of his greatest inspiration to create something that could go into space.
Which someone had already invented. Poor guy.
Well, actually, in 1899, they didn't have rockets yet.
Yeah. I was talking about the centrifuge.
Yeah, no, he was trying to just create something that could go into space. A centrifuge couldn't go into space. But he thought that's what he thought at the time, because I guess that was like cutting edge technology in 1899, centrifuges, So
Yeah.
After experimenting with solid fuel rockets, he was convinced by 1909 that chemical propellant engines were the answer. A particularly complex concept was set down in June of 1908, sending a camera around distant planets guided by measurements of gravity along the trajectory and returning back to Earth. So in 1908, this guy was like, I'm going to send a camera around a planet, and it's going to be guided by measurements of gravity along certain trajectories, and then it'll return to the Earth so we can look at the pictures.
obviously he did not correspond with Tesla, who would have mentioned to him that he needs to figure out how to get around the ether. He plans on doing that.
Or to get past the Van Allen belt. Okay.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be manned, so you might be all right there. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's got all that radiation, you'd think your electronics would be fried, everything, but I don't know.
His first writing on the possibility of liquid-fueled rockets came on February 2nd, 1909. So 1909, he went from solid fuel rockets to liquid fuel rockets. Goddard had begun to study ways of increasing the rocket's efficiency using methods differing from conventional solid fuel rockets. He wrote in his notebook about using liquid hydrogen as a fuel with liquid oxygen as the oxidizer. He believed that 50% efficiency could be achieved with these liquid propellants. So he's a science denier because at the time, everyone was using solid rockets, solid fuel rockets. Nobody had ever heard of a liquid fuel rocket. And this guy's like, well, no, liquid fuel sounds better than...
Yeah. That's cool. I like that. That's cool, man. That's interesting because that's not somebody we really know anything about.
Well, and I told everybody at the beginning, I went to Robert Goddard middle school. So I was introduced to Robert Goddard back then. So here goes some interesting facts that we're gonna you might not know about Robert Goddard, because most people listening probably don't know anything about Robert Goddard at all. But but we're gonna get into the you might not know. Here we go. With new financial backing, Goddard eventually relocated to Roswell, New Mexico in the summer of 1930, where he worked with his team of technicians in near isolation. By the way, it needs to be mentioned that Robert Goddard was a recluse. Like he didn't like being around other people. He liked to be by himself. So his team was a very small team. It wasn't like a huge group of people working with him.
Yeah, it was a very small team. It was a Tesla team. It was a team of one.
Yeah. So and he had like a guy that was working with him real closely who followed his work later on and became famous in his own right. So so he worked in secrecy for years because nobody he didn't work with that many people, and he told everybody they needed to keep their mouth shut. He consulted with meteorologists as the best area to do his work, and they said Roswell because it's got great weather. So and they told him to go there because he wouldn't endanger anyone, because if you started shooting rockets into the sky, no big deal,
Right.
And you wouldn't be messed with by people who are being curious, people who want to go out there and see what you're doing because it's out in the middle of nowhere at the time.
Right.
And the climate was better for his health because he had tuberculosis.
Oh gosh.
And the people in Roswell valued personal privacy. So he valued personal privacy. So he wanted personal privacy, and he knew that other people would. And when people would ask where his facility was located, a lot of the people in the town would misdirect people to other places because they knew that he didn't want to be messed with. So by September 1931, his rockets had now a familiar appearance of a smooth casing with tail fins. He began experimenting with gyroscopic guidance and made a flight test of such a system in April 1932, using gyroscopes mounted on gimbals, electrically controlled steering vanes in the exhaust, similar to the systems used in the German V2 over 10 years after Robert Goddard started his work. The rockets crashed, and if you go to Wikipedia, you can look at how many of his rockets crashed in his tests, but he wasn't trying to determine if he could fly them all the way to space at this time. What he was trying to do is, can I control these rockets? That's what he was trying to do.
Gotcha.
Is not only fire them, but control them. And then between 1926 and 1941, he fired 35 rockets with the last like 7 of them being what they would consider to be very successful. So he didn't go into detail about successful or whatever, but on the Wikipedia they have a list of all the different flight times and stuff, how long the stuff flew. So, what do you think about Robert Goddard?
I think that's interesting.
It is interesting.
I mean, considering it sounds like what happened was Operation Paperclip. We brought in all the rocket guys from Germany and put them onto the, sounds like Robert Goddard / Jack Parsons.
Yeah. So basically, people stole
area.
people stole Robert Goddard's information because Robert Goddard died in 1945. Yeah,
sure.
He died in 1945. So that gets us into our conjecture or fact. So we're going to turn off the science denier and we're going to go to conjecture or fact. You know what our conjecture or fact is today?
Do I know what it is today?
Yeah.
No.
The conjecture or fact today is the Roswell incident.
Is it?
Yeah. The Roswell incident, but the Robert Goddard connection, the Goddard connection to Roswell.
Right, because wasn't it Roosevelt who said, if anything in politics happens, you can be sure it was planned or whatever.
Yeah.
There are no coincidences.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you've heard my theory before, but this is the first time that our listening audience is going to hear this theory. Okay? So follow along if you want, and they can follow along if they want. In 1947, the Roswell Airfield Trip issued a press release stating that they had recovered a flying disc. The Army quickly retracted the statement and said instead that the crash object was a conventional weather balloon. This was July 8, 1947, 2 years after Robert Goddard died. Okay? So that was their official story.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. So here's the true story. Conjecture of fact. You can draw your own conclusion, but here we go. Near the area there in Los Alamos, New Mexico, there's a place called the Chain Lab, which is a bioscience division of the Los Alamos National Laboratory. And now it's actually being like officially mentioned that it's there, that they actually have a bioscience division there. Okay.
Right, but I've known that for some time, at the very least, because of that Phil Schneider guy.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
Well, here's the theory that the Army put out multiple false statements about what crashed in Roswell, near Roswell, and a lot of the people they went with either the weather balloon thing or a UFO. Right?
Right, but it could have been anything in between as well.
Well, it wasn't. What it was a crashed Robert Goddard rocket.
Right, that's what I was saying. Could have been anything in between.
Well, here's the conjecture, or fact.
Okay.
Or fact. The United States was conducting human genetic testing around that time, and some human genetic test subjects escaped from the Los Alamos National Laboratory Bioscience Division, and they got to Robert Goddard's facility and somehow positioned themselves in or on his rocket to try to escape. And then tried to escape. And because the rocket wasn't finished, they crashed. And that was what was recovered. Because remember, people were saying that they also saw bodies there, right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to show a picture here on the thing here so people can see it, and hopefully you guys can see this a little bit closely, but we're looking at Google Maps. So Los Alamos National Laboratory is north of Roswell,
Mm-hmm.
northwest of Roswell. Directly south of the Los Alamos National Laboratory is the White Sands Missile Range at Holloman Air Force Base. Okay?
Right.
So either A, the test subjects escaped from Los Alamos National Laboratory and walked 280 miles or 252 miles or 200 something miles, which took them between 80 and 91 hours to get from Los Alamos to Roswell, where they found the Robert Goddard facility. Or they were being transported from Los Alamos National Laboratory to White Sands, and that's when they escaped. And then they got to Roswell and then used the rocket to try to get away. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I know that the Dulce out there, or whatever, is supposed to be underground at Los Alamos, so that seems a little far fetched. That something we get loose from underground like that. That being said, I mean, who knows? You know, who knows what really happened? What I'll say is that when they do that okey doke with the story,
You know some shit's going down.
well, you know something's going down, and secondarily, what always seems to happen is the first story sticks, and then the retraction doesn't. You know?
Yeah.
So when they did that way, the fact that they let it out, it seems almost purposeful.
Well, and I'm thinking that if my theory is true, at the time we were ostracizing the Nazis for their testing of human beings and the Mengele thing and all that stuff.
Right.
The Mengele effect.
But then we hired them all in paperclip. So
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is that so that the United States wouldn't be implicated in the genetic testing of human beings, which was completely, testing humans
right.
was bad, right?
Right.
So that they could save face, they put out these other stories about the weather balloon and the UFO and stuff like that. And the bodies that were found, or the bodies that were seen at the crash site, from the description, they sound like genetically altered humanoids.
Well, I mean, they've been doing that for a while. I'll say it. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me to be far fetched that they had that back then, where they actually had mutated people that were functional and conniving enough to make a great escape. But then there's the other side of that with the alien autopsy and the agreement with Eisenhower that supposedly occurred, the Majestic 12 and all that other mess, where they supposedly had this agreement that the aliens could experiment on people if they gave us their technologies.
Well,
And then you would have people like, not Goddard, but people like Goddard and Tesla and them dudes. Bob Lazar said he was one of those people, but you would have them reverse engineer the vehicles so that we could learn how they work.
yeah, but from my perspective,
Duplicated.
let's say there were no aliens. Let's say it was just genetic people that escaped.
I don't think they're extraterrestrial in that. I don't believe that they're from another planet.
Well,
But
if people at that time were doing human experiments, which they were, it could
right.
have been just like crossbreeding type thing where they were doing genetic experimentation on other things at that time. So since they were already doing experimentation on other things, doing genetic, they didn't know like the whole genome sequence and things of that nature, but they were genetically altering animals and plants and corn and different stuff like that. They were already genetically altering stuff. So, genetically altering humans, doing crossbreeding and, messing with the embryos and stuff like that doesn't seem too far-fetched or out of the realm of possibility for me. You know what I mean, G?
Well, I guess my point was more that I don't feel like I still feel like they're searching for success in that area, or at least as far as I can tell. You
What,
know, they had
genetic
that
testing?
creature that supposedly got away on Plum Island, which was the whole reason they wanted to move Plum Island to Manhattan, Kansas, which I thought was hilarious. You're like, wait a minute, something got loose. So you're like, hey, let's put it in the middle of the United States.
Dude, did you hear about that train? Or not
Like,
train, the truck? I don't know. I thought it was a train or a truck. Like a couple days ago, the Fauci monkeys?
yes,
The Fauci
yes.
monkeys escaped, and then they had to like put some of them down. And
I know.
there's no way things can escape from a lab.
I mean, come on, dude.
Saying.
Can we be honest? Like, really?
If monkeys can escape, then genetically altered people could too.
There you go.
That's
Okay,
all
I
I'm
stand
saying.
corrected.
That's all I'm saying. You know.
My bad, Jeff. You got me there.
We watched Planet of the Apes and Beneath the Planet of the Apes last night. So we're watching we have all the Planet of the Apes, all the TV series, all the movies, everything. We're watching them all.
Interesting. The funny thing is my wife was telling me about the monkeys and whatnot,
Yeah.
and she was like, "So, guess how many monkeys escaped?" And I was like, 12. I thought for sure they were gonna say 12 monkeys escaped. I told my wife, "That's it.
12
That's
monkeys.
the end of the world."
Bruce Willis is gonna come around now. Or
Collecting spiders, shit.
or that other guy from the TV series.
Brad Pitt,
No, the guy from the TV series.
Jeffrey.
I don't know. You ever watch the TV series?
No, dang it! And you keep telling me to watch it,
Dude,
and
I'm
I want to
telling you.
watch it, but I keep forgetting to.
I think Ali Sheedy's in that. It's either Ali Sheedy or that other chick.
Yeah.
No, not Ali Sheedy. The other chick, Winona Ryder.
Oh,
I think Winona
really?
Ryder's in it. Yeah, Winona Ryder.
She's in Stranger Things. So it's
It was
cool.
either Ali Sheedy or Winona Ryder. One of them was in that show.
There's a big difference there, bro.
But I have Asperger's syndrome, so they look the same to me. It's the same
That's
person to me,
funny.
bro.
That's
I'm watching
funny.
it going, what? What do you mean? Like the scary. You ever watch Scary Movie? And then you watch Scream, and then you watch Scary Movie. I thought for sure the chick in Scary Movie was the chick from Scream because she looked just like her.
You're so funny, dude.
All right, so we did the Science Denier of the Week was Robert Goddard, and then
Mm,
Conjecture of Fact was the Roswell incident.
yes.
So what, did you enjoy that?
As always, yes.
Well, then I'm dropping you off the phone. You are
All
done.
right. Well, I'm
Oh
gonna
wait,
go
wait,
back in
wait,
there
hold a
and
second.
corral my children.
Melissa
Huh?
said that the chick on 12 Monkeys is not Ali Sheedy or Winona Ryder. It's a lady that looks like Ali Sheedy, but it's not her. So it's a chick that
Oh,
looks like Ali Sheedy, but it's not Ali Sheedy.
I thought you were gonna say the name of the person. So.
I have no idea. Melissa's typing it on there, but she didn't say the lady's name. But I'm just saying that
Yeah, didn't say her actual name.
they look all the same to me. How am I supposed to know the difference? They're just females to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not that all females look the same. I'm just saying, this one has two boobies. Must be the same female I saw before.
It's got bumps in the front.
It's got bumps in the front. Must be the same chick.
All right, up high, not low, down low.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that, if you're an angry feminist, you can send us fan mail, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri, 64465. And if you're an angry feminist, send us hate mail, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Lathrop, Missouri, 64465. And then fan
That's
mail.
hate mail, MALE, right?
Yeah, that's MALE. Yeah. Well, thank you for hanging out with me, young man. That was
As
it.
always.
That was fun and interesting. I think from now on I'm gonna mute the phone so that it doesn't ring in my ear, because it startled me when you called. I wasn't expecting it. You know what it is? Because the ringer's on. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to turn the ringer down.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it is. I'm just lame today. All right, man. Do you enjoy this?
Yeah, man, of course.
I
Of
need
course, it's so fun as always.
I need
And
a
now it's on Mondays. It's a little easier.
well, I need a photograph of you to put up on the screen to say who's on the phone with
I know
me.
you keep saying that, but I am not taking a photograph of me naked with pasties. I don't know why that's got to be on there.
Well,
That makes no sense to me, Hefe.
I can get the James R. Freeman photograph from the Facebook and put it on here if you want.
Sure, if you want.
With a microphone drinking out of a tumbler
I love that picture, man.
or a jar. I don't know. I'll
That
just
was my
use that.
last good picture.
I'll just use that one. I'll use that one. All right, man. You're off.
All right. Love you, man.
Bye.
Later.
So that was James R. Freeman. And yeah, I'm gonna like mute my stuff over here. That's what it was. That it wasn't muted. So I was like startling myself. Okay, here we go. Mute that, mute that, mute that. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Man, we were just hanging out, man. Doing our thing, man. So, Outpost Survival Tip of the Week. This week's Outpost Survival Tip of the Week is over here. Along the lines of start an OnlyFans. She wants Jay to start an OnlyFans, the lady in the commenties. Today's Outpost Survival Tip of the Week is here. I'm going to do on the top down, so that way you guys can see the top down. Powdered cheese. This one's the Augustin Farms cheese blend powder. This is powdered cheese. So, yeah. And just like all the other cans, after you've opened it, you can write down the date that you open it, because these cans are they last like 10 years. So, let's look at the nutritional facts on this. Outpost Survival Tip of the Week. Powdered cheese. Dehydrated cheese. There are 43 servings in this container. Each serving is a quarter of a cup. Has 120 calories per serving. Total fat 2.5 grams. Saturated fat 1.5 grams. Trans fat 0 grams. Cholesterol 10 milligrams. Cholesterol is 10 milligrams. Sodium 730 milligrams. That's a lot of sodium, bro. But I guess cheese generally has a lot of sodium. I don't know. 20 grams of carbs. Dietary fibers none. Total sugars is 11. Includes 0 grams of added sugar, 5 grams of protein. And where's the ingredient list? Ingredients. Cheese sauce mix is whey, non-fat dry milk, cheddar cheese, pasteurized milk, salt, cheese cultures, enzymes, salt, natural flavors, buttercream, buttermilk, lactic acid, and paprika, natural vitamin E added for freshness, modified food starch creamer, which is like maltodextrin, palm oil, contains 2% or less of the following: sodium, 2% or less, so that doesn't really matter. I'm not going to count. And contains milk. Contains an oxygen absorber, so when you open it, throw the oxygen absorber away. So, yeah. Because the directions of use. Gradually combine cheese blend powder with hot water. Blend well. Cheese sauce will become smooth and creamy, while cheese spread will be spreadable and a thicker consistency. So to make cheese sauce, it's a half a cup of cheese powder, 1 cup hot water yields 1 cup of cheese sauce. Or for cheese spread, it's a half a cup cheese powder, half cup hot water, and yields 3/4 of a cup of cheese spread, which is thicker. They also have a recipe on here for macaroni and cheese. So 3 cups of their Augustin Farm elbow macaroni prepared, half a cup of cheese blend powder, 1/4 cup of Augusta Farm butter powder, which we went over on the previous show, 1/4 cup of water, 6 tablespoons of Augusta Farms Moose low-fat milk, Just saying, that might be a prequel to what's going on later. There you go. So they also have a cheese dip and baked cheese crackers on there. So this Augustin Farms cheese blend powder, 3 pounds 4 ounces. Has all these recipes on the back, nutritional facts. Yeah. So that is the Outpost Survival Tip of the Week. The Outpost Survival Tip of the Week has been this cheese powder. No, put it back over there where I got it. Ugh. So yeah, Outpost Survival Tip of the Week. You know what? Let's just go on with instead of the Outpost Survival. Let's do the Ghetto Chef. We're also gonna do Ghetto Chef. Today's episode of Ghetto Chef. Yeah. Oh, it feels like there's something in my ear. Watch out! Watch out! Oh, don't do that. Ghetto Chef. I gotta open the thing. Boom. So we're going to look at 14 mouth-watering dishes that you can make with powdered cheese. Powdered cheese. Here we go. Golden cheese bread. You can make golden cheese bread with cheese powder. Golden cheese bread. What else can you make? Homemade Doritos. You can make homemade Doritos. So, yeah. Those look good. Homemade Doritos. You can make cheesy Bloody Marys. Now, I wouldn't drink a Bloody Mary anyway, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm writing something. You know what's really funny about that is, if I would have put my glasses on, I would have been able to see better. Cheesy Bloody Mary. Eggs Benedict with ham and cheesy hollandaise sauce. Yeah, cheesy hollandaise sauce. Cheddar Ranch roasted cauliflower. Cheddar Ranch roasted cauliflower. You know, we could try that. Cheddar Ranch roasted cauliflower. We try that. Nacho cheese turkey taco shells. Nacho cheese turkey taco shells. I guess that's ground turkey. And they dip the cheese in the taco shells in the cheese. Walnut covered cheese balls. Look at that walnut covered cheese ball. Cheddar jalapeno pretzels. Look at that cheddar jalapeno pretzels. I guess you would take regular pretzels and you would like cheddarize and jalapenoize them. Homemade goldfish. Okay. Do you actually make the goldfish shape and everything? Huh. Cheesy popcorn. So you add that cheese powder to popcorn. Doritos crusted chicken fingers. Doritos crusted chicken fingers. Okay. Cheesy scrambled eggs. Cheesy scrambled eggs. So our cheese powder is meant to be melted, so it will perfectly incorporate into fluffy scrambled eggs while infusing a creamy texture. Simply whisk in the cheese powder with the eggs, pour into the pan, and a delicious breakfast is served. Cheesy scallop potatoes. Isn't it making you hungry already? Quick and easy chip dip. Chip dip. The best nacho recipe ever. And then they show you the nacho recipe. Well, I didn't care about no dumb recipe of no nachos. So, So yeah. So I guess the last one was quick and easy cheese dip. Quick and easy cheese dip is the last one there. So the Ghetto Chef is you take some of that powdered cheese and you mix it in with something else. If you have a recipe that you can think of that you've done the powdered cheese with, comment. Let us know. Let us know what's up with that, okay? Or if you want to write us a letter because you don't do the comment thing, send us fan mail, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Latham, Missouri 64465. Or if you're an angry feminist, hate mail, care of Comedy Vets, P.O. Box 369, Latham, Missouri 64465. Also, I need to mention, if you are not subscribed, subscribe. Why not? When we reach 100 subscribers, I will reveal my little Hefe. I will just pull out my little Hefe and show the world on the YouTube channel here. So you can see my little Hefe at 100 subs. If you have family members and friends, tell them to subscribe. Maybe they'll enjoy this stuff, and be part of it. You know what's up. You know how to be part of it. Let's see. So I already did that. I did that. Oh, this is a good one. Do I have enough time for it? I may have enough time for it. All right. I'm going to do it. Where is it? Boom. Let's see. Let's see if I can go to it. Woke this week. An Instacart driver is accused of running over groceries after seeing customers' pro-police sign. So, in Blaine, Minnesota, an Instacart shopper has been accused of purposely driving over a customer's grocery order. Authorities suspect that the act had to do with the pro-police sign in the couple's yard, which the shopper may have objected to. The incident has sparked controversy in communities, reflecting the increased tension nationwide between gig workers and those who rely on companies that contract them. So here we go. They reported that once they'd received notification that the driver was at their house, they decided to meet the driver outside due to the amount of snow in their driveway and being worried that the driver may get stuck if they had to pull into the driveway, explained in their statement from this couple. However, the couple when the couple opened the door to the front door, the delivery driver yelled back at them to check inside their Christmas wreath. The couple also told police that the driver was driving back and forth in the driveway over their Instacart order. And on their receipt, they found a derogatory message. And the message said, Instacart doesn't pay employees. SRY, find another slave. FUCK, the police, racist pigs. After the driver left the scene, the couple reportedly found that their groceries had been run over in the driveway. After reviewing the context of the written message, it appears that the delivery driver's actions were in response to the sign supporting law enforcement that is in the homeowner's front yard, noted authorities. So, yeah, if you're an Instacart delivery person, here's the thing. If you're a delivery person for anything, Instacart, if you're a Domino's pizza delivery person, anybody that delivers food for any organization, for any restaurant, for anything, your UPS, FedEx, whatever, you represent the company that you're delivering for. And if it's a delivery service delivering for, let's say, a grocery store, a local grocery store, the grocery store has a contract with Instacart So they're working together. So you represent the grocery store and you represent Instacart because you have a contract with Instacart. So since you have a contract with Instacart and the grocery store, you're not hurting anyone by doing this. You're not hurting anyone by running over somebody's groceries. The only person you're hurting by running over the person's groceries is yourself, maybe Instacart, and maybe the grocery store, because that customer is going to get their entire order replaced. They're going to get all their stuff replaced. The grocery store is going to replace everything that was run over or smashed or messed up by the Instacart delivery driver. And the store may send that bill for those groceries to Instacart. And then Instacart may take it out of your pay. So it's really ridiculous doing that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous for multiple reasons, but for that reason, it's ridiculous. Also, when you're a delivery person for a grocery store, for Instacart, for whatever, you suspend your political views for the customers that you're dealing with, because you're going to deal with people who have opposing views than you have all the time. That happens all the time. If you're working at Starbucks or McDonald's or Denny's or anywhere, it's Target, Walmart, whatever, people are going to come in there from different political views, different political backgrounds, and you, with your hatred for other people, doesn't need to be in the workplace at all. And you shouldn't have a job. You're unstable, so you shouldn't even have a job because there's something wrong with you. You should actually seek help, not seek help like kelp from the sea, but seek professional assistance with your mental disorder, because there's something wrong with you if you're going to be doing that stuff. So yeah, what was I going to do? I was going to read. I'm reading something over here. Oh my gosh. I'm going to type something. Boom. I sent the message. So in the comments, chitty chat, let me know what you think about this thing. Was it right for this Instacart delivery person to do what they did? Was it wrong? Who does it hurt? Who does it help? Doesn't hurt or help anyone. So you can comment to let us know. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's up?
On the phone with me is Joe Chandler. Actually, you know what's really funny is, since we're in the middle of this segment, I could tell Joe what we're doing, and then he could comment on it because I'm sure he has a viewpoint on it. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
We're doing Woke This Week right now. So I already did the Woke This Week thing, but I want to give you, if you want to jump in on it. It was the Instacart person running over that order from that old couple in was it Blaine, Minnesota? So, what's your take on that?
Well, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of an old David Cross joke.
Okay.
When he was talking about President Bush saying that Bin Laden just hates, he did 9/11 because he hates America's freedom, yada yada. And then David Cross is like, no, I think he did it because of whatever, so and so, because he fucking said that. So, yeah.
I didn't get what you were saying. You sound drunk.
No, I'm not. So the Instacart person, I believe, ran over the food.
Yeah.
Because the people didn't tip.
No. Nope. I just
really?
read it. Yeah, you read it from Newsweek.
Yeah, and I heard you say that.
So I read it from Newsweek, and basically,
yeah, but Read it again where she wrote, or he, I don't know what sex they want to be called. Anyways,
they them
so
Z.
yeah, so the person wrote on a receipt
A derogatory message.
Yeah, but
Instacart doesn't pay employees. Sorry, find another slave.
exactly.
F-U-C-K, the police, racist pigs.
Okay, but
So the person specifically wrote, F the police, racist pigs.
yeah, but the person also specifically wrote, Instacart doesn't pay me.
Who cares?
Find a different slave. What does that sound like? That sounds like the guy did a tip.
Yeah, but the whole thing right here is that the person, first of all, went up to the house, put the receipt with Instacart doesn't pay employees. Sorry, find another slave. F the police, racist pigs. Then ran over their groceries multiple times. So let's take your viewpoint that maybe it's because they didn't tip, which
Okay.
That's not what it sounds like. It sounds like they had a pro police sign in their yard or on their house, and the person was mad and didn't like this pro police thing. But even if that weren't the case, even if it was the fact that maybe they didn't tip, okay, who does this really hurt? Do you think it really harms that old couple?
They're old.
I know,
Anyways.
but how does it negatively affect them other than, oh, I'm gonna be pissed off that this person wrote some stupid stuff on here? Other than that, it doesn't hurt them at all because the store has a contract with Instacart, and the driver has a contract with the store. So the driver represents the Instacart and the store. So if the driver runs over the food, that person's entire order gets replaced for free.
Right.
So they're going to replace that whole order and probably won't even have to pay for it. They'll probably get reimbursed. So the store is out the money. Instacart may be out some money or all the money because they may be, there may be a chargeback to Instacart. And then the driver may end up having to pay for that entire order because they destroyed the order. So it only negatively affects the driver, Instacart, and the grocery store. It doesn't affect this old couple at all.
No. And clearly they didn't get the point that you need a tip.
Yeah, but I don't even think that's what it was.
And you didn't either.
Yeah, because it doesn't say that.
No, it straight up says Instacart doesn't pay me. Find a different slave.
Instacart doesn't pay employees, so that sounds like a problem with Instacart, first of all. And then, F the police, racist pigs.
Oh, you skipped the slave part.
Well, Instacart.
Find a different slave.
Yeah, well, what does it matter? This person.
What do you mean? Why does it matter?
This person entered into. This person.
He probably went, or she probably went, and took an hour shopping, and
Have you ever done? Have you ever done Instacart
the entire time?
Yeah. Have you ever been an Instacart delivery person?
Yeah, I've done it.
So you've done Instacart as a delivery person.
Yes.
And does Instacart pay you?
Okay. Yeah, Instacart does pay me, but
so this person was lying. First of all, Instacart doesn't pay because they do.
Yeah, but there's a difference. Okay, so Instacart pays, but there should be another pay, because you're a contractor for Instacart. You don't work for Instacart. There's a difference.
So regardless of the delivery, how fast the delivery was done, or how well the delivery was done, or how safe the product was in the person's car, they have to say, I'm going to give this person a tip even before the delivery is made? Or does the tip happen after the delivery's made?
So they can tip after. I think there is an option, but if they want to make sure their shit isn't messed with, then they should tip before.
See, my viewpoint is I'm not going to tip anyone until I know that I've gotten good service from the person who I'm tipping, because a tip is based upon actually doing a job, actually doing the service. So if like when I go into Denny's or whatever, I break off more than the tip. I break off 30, 40, 50% tip for the person who's going to be my server, okay?
Right.
And for every infraction that person commits, I deduct some of the tip. So at the end of the meal, whatever tip they get is what they've earned. So what if this couple was that kind of a they had that kind of a way of thinking? They're going to give a tip. Nowhere in this comment does it even say anything about a tip. Nowhere in this comment does it say anything about tipping at all. And if tipping is the thing, if tipping can be done after the delivery, then that person didn't earn their tip anyway. So who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It sounds more like an incident where this person entered into an agreement with Instacart, and they didn't like the agreement that they entered into, so they call themselves a slave, which is stupid. That's utterly stupid. Anyone that enters into a willing relationship with an employer, knowing what they're going to get paid before they enter into that agreement, and they willingly enter into the agreement, they cannot call themselves a slave. That's stupid. That's insensitive to people who have actually been enslaved. This person should have SJWs going and picketing their house and following them around. You know what I mean? What an utterly racist comment. Find another slave. Okay, first of all, if you ain't black, apparently you can't be a slave, even though there have been slaves of other races from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
But my point is that you've entered into an agreement with Instacart to deliver people's groceries. You deliver their groceries regardless of the political affiliation of the other person. Right? You know what I mean? And if you don't like working with that place, don't work there. Nobody's forcing you to work with Instacart. Nobody's forcing you to go out and do deliveries. But if you're going to enter into a relationship or a contract with a delivery company, you have to deliver to everybody equally. It's called equity.
Well, with Instacart though, and like DoorDash, you actually choose if you do the delivery or not.
So this person even chose the delivery ahead of time.
Correct.
So they knew where this house was, and they knew the neighborhood. And they're still mad. That's even worse. That makes the situation even worse for these people, or for this delivery driver. It makes them even more stupid.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's ridiculous. This just irritates me because that person doesn't know what the hell they're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to turn it around the other way. Let's say somebody had a Black Lives Matter thing on their thing. And somebody wrote, Instacart doesn't pay employees. Sorry, find another slave. The Black Lives Matter is racist. What if they would have said that? What if they did the exact same thing, but they were against some other political organization or on the other side of the political spectrum? Would that have been okay?
Well, I would still be on the same page as it's because they did a tip.
Yeah, but you've already established that Instacart allows you to tip after the delivery's made. So if Instacart allows you to tip after the delivery's made...
Okay, yes, you're right, they do, but like 5% of people do that.
I'm telling you, bro. If I'm going to tip somebody and they've smashed my my chips and they messed up my bread and smished my bread, and my stuff is all messed up. My
Right.
my pie or cake is flipped upside down or whatever. That person
Yeah.
doesn't deserve a tip, right? But you don't know that
Now,
ahead of time. You can't get your tip back. Let's say I give a tip and then my stuff is all messed up. Do I get my tip back?
you can actually.
You can get your tip back?
Yes.
I'd be all over that stuff right there.
So your best bet, if you're going tip,
Don't use
then
Instacart
tip ahead of time.
because there's some assholes
Because
doing
huh?
Instacart. Don't use Instacart because there are assholes who work for Instacart.
Well,
Childish little assholes who don't know what reality is work for Instacart.
but again, they don't
Not you.
actually work for Instacart, and Instacart can just go ahead and say that too. So
What?
that they're not an employee; they're just a contractor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you've entered into a contract to represent a company, you represent that company. So yes, you do work for that company. If you've entered into a contract to represent that company, you are working on behalf of that company.
Yeah,
So
working for, but not employed by.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You work for the company. That person worked for the company. They should. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example closer to home. I have
Okay.
somebody who was doing some stuff for Comedy Vets with me, and that person got into an argument with somebody because the person, was saying something stupid or whatever, and then that person complained to the store manager at where we were at, and then we were no longer allowed to do any work with that store because the customer complained. And my viewpoint was, hey, it's okay that you have your own political views. It's okay that you stand up for your political views, but you're representing that store and you're representing Comedy Vets while you're out there. So just smile and nod. You can disagree all day long. Just smile and nod. I understand. I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
More people need to
I
learn.
understand.
Yeah, more people need to learn how to just smile and nod. You know what I mean?
I understand. Yeah, I'm nodding. By the way, you can't see, but
Smile and nod. Okay, so Joe's
yes.
segments are coming on here right here. Let's see. So I'm going to turn off the Woke This Week banner because we're done with Woke This
Oh,
Week.
but actually, you can keep woke this week because I got a woke this week.
You have a Woke This Week?
Yes.
So let's see. So we're going to not do gossip time yet.
Right. We might as well do woke this week right now.
Woke This Week. Okay. This is I said Joe presentates? Why did you spell present?
Oh yeah. I don't know because that's how my phone popped up. But it's basically woke this week.
Woke This Week. So it's not Joe pontificates. It's Woke This Week.
Well, I changed it to that because you had a woke this week, but let's change it back to woke this week because it's a woke this week.
Huh. Okay. Okay, go.
But the M&Ms. So have you heard
wait.
what M&Ms are doing?
Somebody posted yum.org. I don't know what yum.org is. Whatever. What? M&Ms? What happened to M&Ms?
So they're changing their commercials, their ads with their cartoons to be less sexist. So so you know about that green M&M, right?
No. What about the green M&M?
Like a cartoon green M&M.
The green M&M.
So yeah, so originally the green M&M is like wears high knee-high boots and lipstick and stuff and looks really like sexy and is constantly flirting with the other M&Ms, right?
And everybody assumed that was a female?
Well, it is a female, yeah. So, but it was sexy and it was like constantly flirting.
Okay.
So they're changing it. They're taking the boots away and giving her regular shoes, and then taking off her makeup and stuff, and making her like just a, regular lady who's not like flirting and stuff.
An unattractive M&M that you wouldn't want to eat.
Right. So anyways, my thing is, the reason why the M&M was sexy, and it was a joke on the fact that there's a urban legend about the green M&Ms. Have you heard about it?
No, tell me about the green M&M legend.
Okay,
Green M&M.
so
Legend.
you've never heard that green M&Ms are supposed to make you horny.
Okay.
You haven't heard that before.
Was it the dye? The green dye?
Apparently.
Because there's nothing else
that's like
different.
the only difference.
Yeah. Is the dye.
Of course, it's just a rumor. Like, was it ever true that they make you horny? But I was hearing that like back in, the 90s when I was in high school. So it's been a legend going on for years.
Okay then.
You really never heard of
No.
green M&Ms?
Nope.
Okay.
Green M&Ms make you horny.
Yeah. So anyways, clearly they made the green M&M something that would make somebody horny, right?
So the green M&M is a version of ecstasy, you're saying?
It's a favorite what?
It's a version of ecstasy.
Oh.
It's like dropping X, right? You eat enough green M&Ms and it's like dropping X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically. Okay.
So that's what Macaulay Culkin has on his rider for all the movies. They must be green M&Ms.
Oh, he does?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh.
If anybody would, it'd be him, right? Because he's a party monster.
Oh, yeah, party monster. Okay,
and
yeah.
Michael always ate the green M&Ms. And I told him not to because he was getting really horny. I think I've seen that movie too many times. You know what I mean?
The Monster Party?
No.
What movie
Party
are you
Monster.
talking about? Huh?
Party Monster.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
You said Monster Party.
Oh, whatever. Party Monster.
Party Monster, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson was in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, green M&Ms.
Yeah, so anyways, what do you think about that? About them changing
I don't know, but
the green M&M?
I'm going to go get me some green M&Ms. I don't care if they're changing them. I really don't. Don't care either way. Here's the thing. When you eliminate all references to gender, the first female president isn't going to mean anything. You'll work your entire life to be the first female president, and when it happens, you can't say it. Because you can't mention gender. Oh, ain't that ironic? You know what I mean, G?
Yeah, but there will never be a woman president. Unless Joe dies, but...
Unless Joe dies. Well, according to Joe, she's already president. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Did you hear anything about anything going down? What do you hear on the street, Joe? What do you hear? You, Joe. What do you hear on the street, Joe?
So I heard, so Meatloaf passed away.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So first off, now, like when we talk about Meatloaf, we have to, instead of saying Meatloaf, we have to say Sloppy Joe.
Sloppy Joe. Yeah, Sloppy Joe, yeah.
Yeah, because he's dead now. Anyways, so, but I assumed, since I know you are like a Rocky Horror Picture Show fan.
Yeah, and Fight Club.
And
Fight Club.
Fight Club, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're also a fan of crappy hard rock music from
Yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah.
So I assumed that like it kind of touched you when he passed away.
No, I touched myself when he passed away.
Oh, okay.
The Meatloaf. Yeah.
Now did he hear he passed away from COVID?
You know, he was old, and if he passed away from COVID, that's cool, I guess, but doesn't matter to me. Here's why it doesn't matter to me. You know how many people they say passed away from COVID who just passed away from other things and just happen to have COVID?
Yeah.
So, and don't get me started on what's really killing people. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I'm trying not to get you started, but I'm curious.
Well, I'm not going to say the name of the medicine because then we'll get banned. But there's a specific medicine that they give to people when they go into the hospital. And that medicine that they give to people in the hospital, all of the things that people are dying from are side effects that they actually said that medication gives people. And that's why they had a hard time getting it actually through the FDA the FDA process, to actually approve it.
Yeah.
So everything that people are dying from is the exact same stuff that this medication can kill you from. But that's the medication that they give everybody who goes into the hospital. So if you go into the hospital and you have, if they think that you have the vid, they're going to give you this medication. And if you insist that they don't give you the medication, you cannot check yourself out of the hospital and go to a different hospital. You can't check yourself out and go somewhere else. They'll force the treatment on you and you'll die.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's only if you have COVID?
Right. Well, this medication, why would you take it for anything else? If it has all these side effects.
Right.
I mean, every one of the reasons why people die, this specific medication gives you those side effects. So why would you take it any other time? Yeah, you're not supposed to say what it is, darling. She's saying in the chat what it is. Yeah. Remdesivir?
What?
Remdesivir? 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 I don't even know how to pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about? The REM thing? Joe?
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to see it.
Starts with an REM. She spelled it wrong. She definitely spelled it wrong. Or whatever. Come on, man. We're like an hour and 30 minutes into this. We gotta get busy. Let's see. We've done that. We've done that. We've done that. Done that. Done that. Done that. We're on that one right now. Done that one. Done that one.
Okay, remdesivir.
Remdesivir.
Okay, then yeah, that sounds right.
Go look at the side effects for remdesivir. One of these days. You don't have to do it now. You can do it. You can do it some other time. So yeah. So Meatloaf died.
Yeah.
Meatloaf died. Yep. Well, remember that one guy that shot himself in the head, and they said he died of COVID.
Wait, what?
Yeah, when the stuff first went down, and the hospitals were getting paid extra for COVID deaths. There was a guy that shot himself in the head, and they listed him as a COVID death.
Huh.
And another guy got in a car accident. They listed him as a COVID death. Another guy hung himself. They listed as a COVID death. Another dude jumped off of a bridge or a building. They call it a COVID death.
Yeah, but that's to get extra money from the government.
You didn't know that? The
Well,
hospitals
but
get
I'm
paid
saying,
more.
like,
Hospitals get paid more if it's a COVID death.
Right,
Than a
by the
normal
government,
death.
correct?
Right, yeah, right. Yep.
Okay, so if that stuff was true, like you say, then those hospitals would get in trouble for scamming the government.
No, they wouldn't. You know why?
Why?
Because the people running the show don't want people to know about these instances. And if they admitted it and went after the hospitals, then they would admit that there were times when people were listed as being a vid death when it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Because the government wanted
To hush it up.
more people to die from COVID than actually died from COVID.
They wanted the numbers to be greater. Just like why are there more cases of the Rona right now than any other time? Why are there more cases? Is it because it's more deadly? Is it because it's more contagious? Why is it?
Okay, more cases of what?
The Rona.
Cut out.
The Rona.
Okay, Corona.
Yeah. Why are there more cases now than there have been in a long time? Why are there more cases now? Why are cases spiking? Is it because there's more deaths? No. Is it because
No.
it's way more contagious? No, not really. It's a little bit more contagious, but not much. Do you know why? You know why there's
maybe
a spike in cases?
Maybe because people are not shut down like they were when COVID originally started, and when it was bad.
That's a narrative that they want to push.
People are spreading it easier.
No, that's not even true either. You want to know what the real reason is?
Oh, okay.
Tests.
Huh? Tests.
They're doing more testing than at any other time in the history of this thing. There are more tests out there. There are more tests available for people. So of course there's going to be a spike in COVID cases if there's a spike in testing. You test more people, you make the tests more available, you're going to find more people who've got it.
Right. And we should do what Trump wanted to do, and just, if you don't test people, you won't know if there's COVID out there. So he wanted less testing.
Well, he wanted more. Actually, he wanted more testing, and he actually pushed through the fastest approval of a vaccine in the history of vaccines. All of the vaccines that people are using right now aren't because of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Nancy Pelosi or any of those people. It's because of Trump. And if there were any negative, if there's any negative about it, they'll blame Trump. But if there's any positive, they'll take the credit for it. So what else? What else is going on the street there, Joe? What's going on?
Let's talk about that for a second, though. Just real quick. So,
gossip time.
Because you're saying that Trump started all of the vaccines and stuff, right?
Yes.
And I also know he is pro-vaccine. He has the booster, right?
Well, he's pro-choice with the vaccine.
Well,
he's
you're right. He is pro-choice, but when it comes to the vaccine, then
he doesn't want to force anybody to have it.
He's very pro.
Oh,
but he's still pro-vaccine.
Right. He'll encourage people to get it. Yeah.
He's had the boosters. So my question is, how come most hardcore Trump supporters are still so against the vaccine?
No, people aren't against the vaccine.
Okay.
People are against mandates. People are against forcing people to do something. That's what people are against.
Yeah, I know. I hate it when people tell me to wear pants.
Ben Shapiro, Bill O'Reilly, Donald Trump Jr., all the major people that have anything to do with the Republican Party, a lot of them are okay with the vaccine and have no problem. They took the vaccine, they're fully boosted and all that stuff. They have no problem with it. They have a problem with forcing people to take a vaccine, even if their own personal doctor says that it would be detrimental to their health to do it. That's what they're against.
No one's saying that, though.
No, they are. They're all over the world and all over the country. There are people who are being forced to either lose their job or take the vaccine. even if their doctor says you should not, you have a comorbidity right now, and getting the vaccine could actually harm you instead of help you. Did you know like the flu vaccine, there are people who cannot take the flu vaccine because they have health issues and they're not supposed to take the flu vaccine because it would actually be harmful for them to do the flu vaccine? Yeah. Okay, that's same kind of thing with any vaccine. There are doctors who are saying my patient would be negatively affected by taking the vaccine, and then that person loses their job because there's a mandate, or because the company they work for is hardcore into, you've got to be vaccinated. Here's the thing, Joe. Who knows more about you and your health? Do you think you and your doctor know more about you and your health? Or do you think that Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer or Donald Trump or anybody else, do you think they know more about your health than you and your doctor?
No, they don't.
Okay. Each individual person, they know their health better than the politicians and better than these companies. So for a company to say you must get vaccinated, or for a store to say you must get vaccinated, or you can't shop here, or you can't come here, that's wrong, because those stores, those shops, those companies, those politicians don't know your health like you and your doctor do. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
So that's the whole deal. And yeah, I have no problem with Trump being like, oh yeah, I'm pro vaccine. Of course he's pro vaccine. He's okay with the vaccine. He's okay with people taking the vaccine. He just doesn't want people to be forced to do it. And he's cool with it because he's the one that implemented them. He's the one that got that ball rolling. He's the one that not pressured, but he's the one that encouraged the pharmaceutical companies to get them out there.
Right.
So, there you go. All right. So what else is going on in the gossipy thing there, huh? What else is going on in the gossipy thing, huh?
Well, Louis Anderson also passed away.
Louis Anderson?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say the same thing I said when I heard about Louis Anderson dying?
Probably not.
I thought he
What
died
did he
10
say?
years ago.
Oh, really?
Melissa and I both thought he died like 10 years ago.
No.
I did
just his career.
I did a This Week in Comedy History last year, and I'm like, you might not know Louis Anderson's still alive. So yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
How are we going to do the? So what else are you going to say about Louis Anderson dying?
I don't know. That's all I know.
Do you know what Louis Anderson and Meatloaf had in common?
They were both fat.
They were both fat. They were both obese.
Yeah. Is that really all you were going to say?
I'm going to say.
Is that all they have? Huh?
You take people who are overweight and have other things wrong with them, and they're going to be more susceptible to the stuff going down. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like people who get chlamydia, gonorrhea, and AIDS, right? If you say you're more likely to get chlamydia, gonorrhea, and AIDS if you sleep around with people without using any kind of condom or protection, and you're just sleeping around, just having sex with people 2 or 3 a day, or large groups of people, then you're more likely to get these diseases. And then everybody's like, oh, you can't say that. What do you mean you can't say that? That's the truth. That's actually true. So you're not allowed to say truth stuff anymore. You're more likely to have a heart attack or a stroke if you're fat than if you're not. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. Whatever. All right. So we're switching off this gossipy thing.
Okay.
How are we gonna do the Gen Y thing? I don't get how you wanted to do that, because you can't see me reacting to it.
No, I know.
So you still want me to try it?
You can try it.
You've
so
seen
you can
it, right?
play it, and then I've seen it, so I know what it is.
You've seen it. So
Yes.
I'm gonna play it then.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So this segment is called I cleaned it up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Generation Y, is this funny? You like that? Generation Y,
Yeah.
why is this funny? So we're gonna
Right.
look at a video here. This is a what do you call that? Um, TikTok. We're gonna watch a
TikTok video.
9 second TikTok video, and here we go.
Crush. I have a crush on who can ride truck.
What? Why can't I hear it?
Bully. Rides truck. Me rides bully's penis. Crush. I have a crush on who can...
Hold on. You. Why don't I have it on here? Desktop audio is on. Is it because the plug is plugged into the wrong place? I think it's because I plugged something in the wrong place. Can you hear it when I play it? Oh! You can't hear it because it's going through the computer. I gotta use these other headphones. I can use the other headphones. You won't be able to hear it. Okay, I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I'm gonna try again. I knew I heard it, but I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Ugh. And I paused it. Hold on. No, don't do that. No, pause. Okay. Unmute it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, you ready?
Crush. I have a crush on who can ride truck.
I have a crush
Bully.
on who can-
Rides truck. Me rides bully's penis. Crush. I have a crush on who can ride truck. Bully. Rides truck. Me rides bully's penis. Crush. Crush. I have a crush on who can ride truck.
I don't get it.
So it's apparently funny for some people.
That didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
That was nonsensical. Maybe because they laugh at the word penis.
Maybe.
Okay. Did you watch Divergent?
Yes.
So you ready to break it down with me?
Yeah. Breakdown.
We're gonna break it down. Okay. So we're breaking down Divergent today. Divergent. Entertainment breakdown. So we're breaking down Divergent. Okay. And I have a different take on Divergent than a lot of other people, and we'll discuss that later. So I'm not going to play the trailer, but I'll read the description for people, and let me show people what I'm looking at, so that way they can see what I'm looking at. Boom. Okay. So, in a world divided by factions based on virtues, Triss learns she's divergent and won't fit in. When she discovers a plot to destroy Divergence, Triss and the mysterious Four must find out what makes Divergence dangerous before it's too late. Yeah? Okay. You like that?
Yeah.
I did a good job. It was like really like, what do you call that? What do they call that when you say something dramatic? That was very dramatic. All right, so
Melodramatic.
you want to break it down and basically give a synopsis of Divergent, the first movie, or do you want to do the whole series?
Well, I was wondering what you were going to do.
I don't care either way because I've got the collection, so I've seen them all recently.
Yeah, same.
So basically, Divergent is set in a dystopian future where society is broken up into different factions or different groups. What are the different factions? I can't remember what the different factions are. Do you remember what the different factions are, Joe?
No. I'm not good with names, so.
Set in a futuristic dystopia where society is divided into 5 factions that each represent a different virtue. Teenagers have to decide if they want to stay in their faction or switch to another faction. For the rest of their lives, they're stuck in this one faction. Triss Pryor makes a choice that surprises everyone. she chooses a faction that's different than what everybody thought she was going to pick. They have to live through a highly competitive initiation process, undergo extreme physical and intense psychological tests to determine what's going on. Okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
What are they? I can't even remember what the factions are. So there's a warlike faction, the Dauntless. There's the law people. You right? I can't remember what they're called. There's the people who are like agriculture people, right? And then there's people who are like the people who are like on committees and stuff. So it's 4 of them. What's that 5th one? I don't know. I don't remember what all the different factions are.
What is the 5th one? Like the people underground and stuff?
Yeah, but they don't get to choose the 5th faction. That's factionless.
Oh, okay.
Underground people are the factionless. The factionless. So.
Liz.
Factionless, yeah. So there's no faction.
All right.
So that doesn't count because it's a factionless. Anyway, so what would you say? Would that be like an equivalent to what in today's society? What would that be considered? Like what political group does something similar to that?
Like put people in groups.
Yeah, like
so the Democrats.
Well, Democrats, but it's also like a very communist type way of thinking, where you have a specific thing that you do, right?
Yeah. It's also I think this is kind of ironic. It's utopian. Because
dystopian. Utopian? Dystopian?
Not dystopian, but utopian. According, like the original utopian story, everybody is given a certain job and they're stuck with that job.
Well, yeah, that's the whole that's the thing I'm saying, that would make it a dystopian thing for me. It's basically like communism. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
So, because they're the different groups or whatever, But so I watched this movie and I had a different take on it than a lot of other people because when I was really, really young, our family lived in a commune when I was really little. Okay. And my dad was a migrant worker. So my dad and my mom, they worked doing agriculture stuff, like picking stuff out in the fields and stuff like that and growing stuff, working in gardens and stuff. And they actually had the group of this. It was a commune. So it was a communist group. They were separated into different categories, different groups, different factions, different jobs. Okay. So you had the agriculture people. You had the people who were like security, who did a lot of security stuff, right? And then you had people who were good with like business and management and stuff. Pretty much like this thing here. So they had the different groups. And what made it fall apart was that like the people that lived or that worked in the field, like the little kids, we were allowed to go out with our parents and work with them in the field. So there was like a lot of singing and happiness and laughing and hanging out with each other, and while we were like, let's say, gathering corn, picking corn, we'd be out there picking corn with our parents. So we'd be out there together. Well, the other people, their kids had to go to class. They couldn't go with their parents to their thing that they did, their job that they did. You know what I mean? The little kids couldn't go do the security thing or the management thing or whatever. They weren't allowed to go.
Right.
So the people that were doing the management thing and the people that were doing the security thing, they got pissed off. They weren't allowed to hang out with their kids more. So they thought that the people who were doing the farm stuff should get less resources and less freedoms, and less I guess, less of everything because they already had a good time and they didn't actually have to work. Well, then the people that worked in the field were like, yeah, but all you do is sit around at a desk doing paperwork all day, doing numbers, crunching numbers or whatever. And the security guy, all he does is he stands up there he stands over there where the fence is, making sure nobody comes in to mess with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everybody thought everybody else was better. They were better than the other people, but the other people were better off than them. You know what I mean? Well, I'm working harder than you, but you're benefiting the same as me. So it ended up having a class system where people were given more than other people, based on, what they were doing. And then it got to the point where people were getting more based on their ethnicity. You know what I mean? Or their age. They got less work and more benefit because they were old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, G? So I got that viewpoint from it. But Divergent, yeah. So this chick finds out that she belongs to more than one what do you call it? Faction. Right?
Yeah.
So, that's basically the whole movie right there.
Which makes her divergent.
That way it makes her divergent because she's more than one. Yeah. And this 4-person that she's hanging out with, he's also divergent. But not as much. Like, all of the different people who are divergents they're divergent to a certain percentage. So they have a certain percentage of a different group or whatever. So I'm not going to spoil the second or third movie by telling you how much Triss is, but she's got a percentage of divergence that's different than everybody else.
She's like Neo.
Like Neo, yeah. Yep. So, well, that's cool. Well, any other comments on this breakdown?
No. Just I don't know. What do you think about the comparisons to the Hunger Games?
There were some pretty good comparisons to the different Hunger Games.
Yeah.
It's a communist society. Both of them are based on a communist society that has a class system. So the Hunger Games, even Harry Potter, is based on a class system. It's based on a communist system.
Wait, what? Harry Potter?
Harry Potter, they separate them into different groups and different categories and pit them against each other.
Yeah.
In games. And everybody does their part and everybody works together, but everybody also fights with each other. It's communism.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to the next couple segments, dude. We got like 2 minutes. So I've got like Back in the Day and the Pathetic Pet of the Week that I didn't even get to. So I might have to postpone those and do those next week.
Yeah.
So we're 2 hours in. So Joe, you know what I should have done is at the beginning, I should have done those until Jay got on the phone because he was a little late. So.
Wow. Really? That's a shocker.
Did you enjoy hanging out with me this way?
Yeah.
Enjoy your drive home?
Yeah. So well, at least I'm not getting COVID.
Yeah. Around you. Yeah, you're not gonna, and I'm not getting your shedding. The shedding.
The shedding?
The shedding, yeah. People who get vaccinated shed. Did you know that?
What?
People who get vaccinated shed.
Oh, okay.
Like shingles, you shed. Did you know about shedding? You should look that up. Shedding. So,
okay.
All right then. So all right then, Joe. I'm gonna kick you off the phone. I'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Good job. All right. Okay. Bye.
Later. Bye.
All right. That was Joe. So what do we got? 1 minute, 10 seconds. Oh my gosh, 10 seconds. Wow. We totally gotta end the show. Totally gotta end the show. All right. Married with Comedy.